So much has happened in the world of One Direction in 2015 alone. From breakups to feuds to baby mama drama, it's safe to say it was an interesting year to be a Directioner. As 2015 comes to an end, let's reminisce on the year 1D had by going over 13 of the biggest One Direction moments of 2015 right here on Listed. The year started off pretty smoothly. Everything was fine and dandy in the 1D fandom until March came along and things just started getting cray. We're starting off the list with Louis and ELOUNOR's heartbreaking breakup. So sad. The couple dated for roughly 4 years before they decided to go their separate ways in March. Although it seemed Louis was doing fine on social media, a close friend to the singer told People magazine that Louis was dying inside. They said, quote, "Louis is really upset about it all. They tried really hard to make it work, but it was just impossible. He's away for 9 months a year and they just grew apart." Sadly, that was only the beginning of what's to come. Days after they broke up, it was announced that ZAYN was leaving One Direction. No, it wasn't just an "oh, see you later, I'll come back after I'm feeling better" kind of leaving. No. The mysterious, brooding, and sexy vocalist was leaving his 4 brothers and best friends behind for a more normal life. And just like that, millions of Directioners' hearts shattered. When the news broke, fans showed just how devastated they were by filming themselves crying over the upsetting news. This was probably one of the saddest things to have happened to both the band and the fandom. But like they say in the entertainment industry, the show must go on, and it did. Days after it was announced that ZAYN had left the group, Liam, Harry, Niall, and Louis returned to the stage in Johannesburg, South Africa to continue on their On the Road Again tour as a 4-piece band for the first time. It was pretty much a monumental moment in 1D history. Now, this might bring one back some unpleasant memories, but bear with us. When ZAYN left One Direction, he pretty much ran into the arms of Naughty Boy, and that rubbed some people the wrong way, especially ZAYN's former bandmate and partner in crime, Louis. When Liam made a joke about replacing ZAYN, Naughty Boy responded on Twitter a couple days later with a picture of himself and ZAYN with the words, quote, "replace this." Louis immediately stepped in to defend his bandmate on Twitter and said, quote, "Jesus, forgot you were such an in-demand producer. How does it feel to be riding on the back of someone else's career?" And then ZAYN came in and defended Naughty Boy by saying, quote, "at Louis Tomlinson, remember when you had a life and stopped making bitchy comments about mine? Yikes." Safe to say that relationship won't ever be the same. But Louis probably doesn't have to worry too much about his good friend anymore, because months after that, ZAYN totally dumped Naughty Boy from his squad. Keeping on the Louis trend, next up on our list is the giant baby bombshell he dropped over the summer. This thing seriously came out of nowhere. In July, it was revealed by People magazine in a world exclusive that Louis is expecting a baby with LA-based stylist Brianna Jungwirth. Although the news was revealed by a source close to Louis, Directioners were torn between believing the crazy news. Do you remember where you were when Babygate happened? Fast forward to a few weeks later when Louis basically confirmed the news on GMA after Michael Strahan asked him how he was feeling about the baby, and Louis replied with, quote, "thank you. Obviously, it's a very exciting time, so thank you." Well, there you have it. Next up on our list is the unfortunate breakup of ZERRIE. Maybe we should have called this episode of Listed 10 of the most depressing things that happened in the One Direction fandom in 2015. Okay, months after ZAYN cut his ties with One Direction, he did the same with his relationship to his then fiancé, Perry Edwards. After being together for roughly 3.5 years, ZAYN and Perry ended their relationship and called off their engagement. If that one didn't make you cry, I have a feeling this one will. For a while now, there were tons of rumors floating around about One Direction splitting up for good after they released their 5th studio album. Of course, the gossip made Directioners upset, so good old Niall had to step in and set the record straight. He wrote on Twitter, quote, "okay, so lots of rumors going around. We are not splitting up. We will be taking a well-earned break at some point next year." Louis and Liam both jumped in to basically repeat what Niall said. Sigh, our lives will totally be boring during 1D's break, but at least they're coming back, right? Right? Okay, so the guys definitely deserve a break after gifting fans with so many great tunes and amazing shows. The boys have never missed a show in the 5 years they were together, but there's always a first for everything. On October 20th, as Liam, Harry, Niall, and Louis were preparing for their concert in Belfast, they shocked the crowd as well as fans all around the world by canceling the show because Liam got really sick. Thankfully, the singer started to feel much better after that day, but one could only wonder what caused him to get so violently ill. Did he overwork himself, or was it a case of love sickness? The only reason why we would even bring that up is because shortly after the band's canceled show, it was confirmed by Liam that he and longtime love, Sophia, broke up. He revealed his relationship status to The Sun, saying, quote, "I'm absolutely devastated to have split with Sophia. Being on tour all year and being away from her was so hard. We spent so much time apart. But in order to do right by somebody, sometimes it's better not to do what your heart wants, but to do what's better for them. Right now, I'm looking forward to some alone time to figure out who I am and what I want to be. Cue all of the tears. And since we're on the topic of relationships and breakups, the last one on our list has to do with the infamous and short-lived Taylor relationship. Even though Taylor took a dig at her famous ex by reportedly penning style about him, Harry has kept quiet about his relationship with T-Swizzle for quite some time. But were you really expecting Harry to keep quiet about it forever? After One Direction released their second single, Perfect, from their Made in the AM album, many wondered if the song was about Taylor because it was so eerily similar to the song Style. Not to mention that line, quote, "If you're looking for someone to write your breakup songs about, that totally sounds like it could be about Taylor." But alas, Harry kept silent on the matter whenever someone would ask him if the song was about his ex. However, Louis kind of sort of confirmed it in an interview with People by saying, quote, "I think everybody draws from personal experiences, so of course to a degree I'm sure that influenced some of it." Well, thank you, Louis. That's pretty much all we wanted and needed to hear. And speaking of music, Made in the AM did pretty well for itself on the Billboard charts, even though One Direction was up against Justin Bieber since they both released their albums on the same day. Billboard reported that 1D came in at number 2 in the US and number 1 back home in the UK. Not too shabby. But the year didn't end there for the British boy band. About a week after their album was released, Harry, Liam, Niall, and Louis shut down Hollywood Boulevard for not just 1 but 5 songs for their fans. It probably caused a huge traffic jam in LA, but hey, what else is new? The guys performed Perfect, History, Love You Goodbye, Story of My Life, and No Control for the huge crowd. And last but not least, One Direction basically took over the 2015 American Music Awards. Not only did the guys perform a stellar rendition of their song Perfect, but they also took home both of the awards they were nominated for, one of them being the biggest award of the night. Yeah, that's Artist of the Year. And they also won that same award the previous year, too. To top all of it off, the guys are closing out their amazing year by performing on Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest. 2015 will probably go down in 1D history as the craziest and probably biggest year yet. Sadly, all good things must come to an end, and that pretty much sums up our list. Now, I want to hear from you guys. Which 1D moment will you never forget from 2015? Let me know in the comment section below, and then right after that, click over here for some of the craziest One Direction fan theories. And don't forget to subscribe to Clevver News. Thanks for hanging out with me here on Listed. I'm your host, Misty Kingma, and I'll see you next time. Click to the left to find out which One Direction songs are underrated, and to the right for some of the best moments on 1D's On the Road Again tour.